Wood anemone. Key features and information. Botanical name. Anemone nemorosa is the botanical name for the wood anemone, a species of flowering plant in the Ranunculaceae family. It is commonly known as the wood anemone, windflower, or thimbleweed. Habitat. Wood anemones are native to temperate regions of Europe, Asia, and parts of North America. They thrive in woodland habitats, particularly in deciduous forests, and are often found in shaded or partially shaded areas with well-drained, humus-rich soils. Wood anemones bloom early in the spring, typically before the trees fully leaf out, taking advantage of the early sunlight that filters through the forest canopy. Leaves. The leaves of wood anemones are typically basal, meaning they emerge from the base of the plant rather than along the stem. Shape and texture. The leaves are deeply lobed and divided into narrow segments, giving them a fern-like appearance. The foliage is a rich green color and may have a slightly hairy texture. Color. The leaves are usually a soft, bright green and help the plant capture energy from early sunlight in the spring. Flowers. The flowers of the wood anemone are one of its most attractive features. They are single, star-shaped flowers that emerge on long stems above the foliage. Colors. The flowers are typically white but can sometimes be found in shades of pink or purple. The petals are often tinged with a hint of pink or purple near the base. Structure. Each flower has 5 to 7 petal-like sepals which give it a star-like appearance. The flowers have numerous yellow stamens at the center, creating a striking contrast against the white petals. Blooming time. Wood anemones bloom in early spring, usually in March to April, and their flowering period is relatively short, lasting only a few weeks before the plant goes dormant for the summer. Adaptations. Early blooming. Wood anemones are adapted to take advantage of early spring sunlight. They bloom before the trees in the forest canopy fully leaf out, ensuring they receive maximum light. Pollination. The flowers attract various pollinators including bees, butterflies, and other insects, which aid in pollination. The flowers often close at night and reopen during the day to conserve energy and protect their reproductive parts. Cultural symbolism. Wood anemones have a variety of symbolic meanings across different cultures. Symbol of protection. In some cultures, the wood anemone is believed to have protective qualities. It is often associated with warding off evil or bad spirits. Symbol of new beginnings. As an early bloomer, the wood anemone is often seen as a symbol of renewal, hope, and the arrival of spring. Association with death and forsaken love. In other cultures, the anemone has been associated with death and mourning, as the flowers tend to close at night and seem to wilt, which could be interpreted as symbolic of loss. Uses. 1. Ornamental use. Wood anemones are popular in gardens, particularly in woodland or shaded areas. Their early spring bloom is a welcome sight after the long winter months. The delicate, star-shaped flowers add beauty to garden beds, borders, and wildflower meadows. They are often used in naturalistic garden designs, particularly where the aim is to replicate a forest floor environment. 2. Traditional medicinal use. Some species of anemone, including wood anemones, have been used in traditional medicine. However, they should be used with caution as they contain toxic compounds, such as protoanemone, which can cause irritation if ingested or applied to the skin. Historically, wood anemone was used to treat ailments like arthritis and joint pain, but due to its toxicity, it is no longer recommended for medicinal use. 3. Wildlife support. The flowers of wood anemones provide early-season nectar for pollinators such as bees and butterflies. They are an important food source for these insects when other flowers are not yet in bloom. The plant's leaves also offer some shelter for small wildlife and insects. Ecological importance. Early source of nectar. As one of the first flowers to bloom in spring, wood anemones provide an important early nectar source for bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. Soil health. Wood anemones help to maintain healthy soil in their native woodland environments, contributing to the biodiversity of the forest floor. Their leaf litter, when decomposed, adds organic matter to the soil, enriching its fertility. Care and maintenance. Planting. Wood anemones prefer well-drained, moist soil and should be planted in a shaded or partially shaded location to mimic their natural woodland habitat. They are often propagated by dividing clumps or by planting tubers. Watering. While wood anemones prefer moist soil, They do not like to sit in waterlogged conditions. It is important to keep the soil moist but not soggy, especially during their growing and blooming period in spring. Fertilizing. Wood anemones do not require heavy fertilization, but adding compost or well-rotted organic matter to the soil can help improve its fertility. Pruning. After the flowers fade, the foliage naturally dies back and the plant goes dormant. It does not require pruning, but you can cut back the foliage once it has yellowed to maintain the aesthetic of the garden. Invasive nature. Wood anemones are not considered invasive in most areas, though in some places, particularly in their native range, they can spread by self-seeding and form dense colonies in woodlands. They are generally well-behaved in garden settings and do not outcompete other plants aggressively. Wood anemones are a charming addition to spring gardens, with their delicate white flowers and graceful fern-like foliage. Their early bloom, combined with their ecological role in supporting pollinators, makes them a valuable and beautiful part of the landscape.